So firstly, thank you, Lakme, for giving such a wonderful platform and extending their hand towards helping the weavers. As a brand, of course, I've always tried to do something to bridge the gap and get the beautiful textures and fabrics of Assam out into the mainstream. And with platforms like this is what makes it possible. The fabrics of Assam are so exquisite and luxurious, like the mugas, the aries, the parts, which is what primarily my collection is made out of. But I have tried to blend in with the more contemporary youth. And so as to say, my showstopper, Galen, she's been a huge influence in to the youth in today's world. So, especially the Indian youth, she has a huge following, be it in social media or, to have these kind of people associate themselves with initiatives like this, it's really helpful for the weavers, for women empowerment, which is what we are trying to do with this hashtag Made in Assam initiative. And as Pariah by Pranami as a brand is in my own way, just trying to put forth the fashionable angle to it, and Lakme has just given the platform for that. So, yeah, that's it.
Sure. Initially, I didn't know Pranami, but she gave me a very friendly call and she asked me if I'd like to be associated with what she's trying to do here. Quite frankly, for me, it's a first as well, walking in such a beautiful creation which is made out of the hand weaves of the women of Assam. And I think whenever we kind of associate fashion with a cause, it automatically becomes that much more special because you're not just trying to put out a beautiful piece or a beautiful garment out there, you're also trying to tell a story through that garment. And that's what makes this initiative with all these three lovely women who've come out here to showcase their work that much more special because we're associating ourselves with a greater cause, I believe. You are giving women of Assam a reason to stay back and not move to cities and take up menial jobs, but stay back with their roots, with their children, with their families, and go out there and kind of preserve the soul of Assam when it comes to the clothes. So I'm extremely proud to be associated with this lovely initiative, and thank you so much, Pranami, for having me on board.
Thank you.
And I'm sure
Thank you for being part
that
of it.
I'm sure that this is just the beginning of a lot of amazing things that are going to come in the future, and a lot of youth most certainly are going to now start moving towards trying to wear beautiful garments like these as opposed to just manufactured stuff. So I really urge all of you out there, all the youth, and even the older people to just come out there and take a look at what our country has to offer. We have beautiful things, and that's all. Give handloom a chance. Yes, that's what I'd like to say. Thank you. That was long.
Firstly, thank you to Sarah for working for us. And it's been a pleasure working with you. And so about Agor, we at Agor promote about 150 women from some 220 villages in Assam. And the speciality of the Agor weaves is the Bodo weaves, which is the extra warp and the extra weft, which is exactly the story which we've told in Sarah's outfit. So you could see there, it's a warp and a weft, which is a way of life for the Assamese people. And it is, formed in such a way that it's a weave in itself. So I am a very contemporary designer, and we have collaborated with Agor for this collection. So I've given it a very contemporary twist, a very modern and edgy feel to the collection, because when we think of handloom, we think of a very boring kind of a silhouette, or something that cannot be worn on a fun night. So I've tried to push the boundaries, and we've made something really fun out of a handloom fabric. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. I actually first want to commend Lakme on taking an initiative to promote um, not just Assam and this rich culture that we have, but also the women. When I first heard, when I was asked to walk the ramp, it was a no-brainer for me. I said yes. I can safely say that I've never seen handloom been done the way I'm wearing it today. So really, hats off to you, Aditi, for having envisioned a design like this. And you're right, it does give a fun twist onto handloom. And it has some of my most favorite words in it. It's, helping women. I've been to Assam and I absolutely love it and I find it absolutely stunning. But have I been back to do anything to help? No. But the thought that I'm actually wearing something that was created over hours and hours of work for women who can't actually be here and speak for themselves, that for me is a true honor. And I think thanks to people like Aditi and everyone else sitting over here, not only wearing it but also creating these garments, it allows people who are seeing them to look at handloom in another way and actually go out and buy them, especially, like she said, for the youth, because I would buy this skirt that I'm wearing right now, and I would probably use it on many occasions. Um, so thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you again to Lakme, and thank you to everybody here for taking this initiative.
ये हमारी पहले तो मेखला सलवार था, लेकिन मेखला सलवार तो सब जगह में नहीं पहनते हैं, इसीलिए हम साड़ी के बारे में सोचा। और सब जितना भी डिज़ाइन है मेरी रिवाइवल डिज़ाइन है। पहले तो बहुत 100 साल का पहले का हम लोग का आसाम का म्यूज़ियम से लेके हम काम किया है और नेचुरल 100% नेचुरल डाई करके किया है। इसमें कोई केमिकल नहीं है, धागा भी इसमें हैंड स्पन है, हैंड स्पिनिंग है। इसका डिज़ाइन का जो भी धागा है ये सब प्योर सिल्क और 100% नेचुरल डाई 100% सिल्क का है। मैं तो हम लोग का कास्ट में असम में हम मिसिंग ट्राइब का हूँ, ट्राइबल हूँ। हम लोग का जब 8 साल से ये काम सीखना पड़ा, कोई इंजीनियरिंग होने से भी डॉक्टर होने से भी इससे पहले ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है। पहले तो इसका वो नहीं जानने से शादी भी नहीं होता था, ऐसा है। हम लोग का जानना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, इसीलिए हम कैसे सीखा हमको भी याद नहीं है, कितना साल से सीखा है। हमको स्पिनिंग भी जानती हूँ, हम नेचुरल डाई स्पन सब धागा बनाने भी जानती हूँ और कपड़ा बनाने भी जानती हूँ। मेरी माँ एक मिरीजिम बोलता है, मैं मिरी ट्राइब का हूँ। मिरीजिम एक ब्लैंकेट होता है, ब्लैंकेट का वेवर था मेरी माँ। और मेरी सासू माँ भी ऐसा ही बहुत अच्छा वेवर था। ऐसे से हम लोग का साड़ी का ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। ये साड़ी है ये 45 डेज कंटिन्यूअस हैंड वीविंग है, ये कंटिन्यूअस काम है, इसका स्टिच नहीं किया है। ये लूम में बना के जाना पड़ता है और सिंपल बिना बॉर्डर का आपका 15 डेज 10 to 15 days। Hello? It's the volume is less. Okay. So I think it's definitely happening, Made in Assam show for the first time. So it kind of promotes all the women to like not stop and, they can, so the weavers that we use, they work from home. So something like, they can easily continue and the handloom fashion is not dying away. It's an initiative for us to say that handloom is, handloom is the new black. Yeah.
Well, what I'd say is because of the lack of demand so far, we lost out on a lot of weavers, women weavers, who had to come to cities and find jobs as menial jobs like maids or, house helps. And for some, and these are all artisans at the end of the day. These are the ladies who've created these beautiful garments, and we were losing out on that. So, of course, for a platform like this and for Lakme to specifically give that limelight to Assam right now, it is, I'm hoping, is just a stepping stone to a long journey which will not just create awareness, but create that demand in the market and henceforth create a livelihood for these weavers. Because at the end of the day, that is what is important. You know, we all have to look at the practical side of things as well. So as long as we get that support from mainstream India or that link is there, I don't see why this can't go forward. In fact, it is, I see it just, the gates have just opened and there's so much more to come out from the state and from vice versa, both ways. So yeah, definitely.
Of future में and क्या आप और भी फैशन वीक में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगी with the same line or maybe इसी कलेक्शन के साथ और आगे बढ़ना चाहेंगे?
ठीक है, हम लोग तो जैसे बहुत कम समय मिला अभी इस लक्ष्मी फैशन वीक के लिए, तो ओनली 1 मंथ, 1 महीने में हम इतना दिखाया और टाइम मिलने से और भी कुछ दिखा सकूंगी और हमारा वेबर को जानने से ऐसा हम लेके आई हूँ, उन लोग का भी और प्रेरणा मिलेगा, हमें हमारी बहुत आशा है इसमें। 52 वेबर्स है मेरे घर का ही जैसा है पूरा, 52 वेबर्स है मेरे। असम, अपर असम में, पूरा अरुणाचल बॉर्डर पे है, लास्ट अपर असम में है, गुवाहाटी में भी है मेरे छोटा सा और अपर असम में ज़्यादा है मेरे।
Comfort fashion. I'm big on comfort. So when Aditi told me you're wearing flat shoes, I was like, yes, I'll wear flat shoes. But yeah, that would be it. Be comfortable. It's not as important to be trendy as it is to be comfortable. No matter what you're wearing, flat shoes, high heels.
Any particular trends that you find interesting lately and that you want to include in your wardrobe?
I have already bomber jackets. Natasha J just did fabulous bomber jackets in Indian fabric and Indian print. And I've actually pulled out a bomber jacket that I had from the 80s. I called mom and said, pull it out. So I'm a big bomber jacket fan. Thanks.
How about you, given any particular
Trend that I'm following these days, quite frankly, I'm a very simple kind of jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. I don't really delve too much into it. That never goes out of style, which is also why I stick to that. But having said that, I'm quite blessed. At MTV, we get a lot of stylists who help us out with what we're wearing. So most often, if you see me in hideous clothes, it's not me. It's not me. It's probably the stylist. Just putting it out there, guys.
But can you also tell us about your personal style statement? Because you said it's not
Right. So the thing is, I stand 5 feet 10 inches tall. So for me, as much as I can, I try and avoid wearing heels because most often in my job it's a hindrance because I most often then have to interview people like that. And they can't fit me in the frame. So I'm mostly wearing shoes that are very comfortable, mostly flat. My personal style statement is that of wearing either shorts, really loose t-shirts, jeans and t-shirts. That's what I am. I'm very big on pants. I don't know what that is, but I like pants. Yeah.
for your winter wardrobe, any particular edition that you would
Actually, I'd like to say, add to what Sarah just said. I love bomber jackets. They're absolutely fantastic. In fact, I just hosted roadies, and that was all that I was wearing throughout the show, just bomber jackets. Now I don't know what you're going to do, Sarah, because I just took it. Guys, if you're going to see her wearing that, you should just know I wore it first. So yeah, just bomber jackets. They're really nice for the winters. And actually, mostly हम तो बम्बई में रहते हैं. यहाँ पे winter नाम की कोई चीज़ है ही नहीं. दिल्ली में जब जाते हैं तब I just kind of enjoy wearing stuff that. It's actually mostly on the flights that I feel cold. That's it. Okay, this conversation has gone somewhere else.
Sir, how was the experience working with your shoes?
It was an absolute honor to be walking the ramp for Agor, and it was an absolute honor to be walking the ramp for Agor at Lakme Fashion Week as part of the hashtag Made in Assam project.
Tell us about the designers which are working. About the designers.
I worked for Aditi, who's right here.
Hi.
Aditi is amazing. She's one of the Gen Next designers. It was her responsibility to give, let's say, a modern twist to the handloom from Assam. And I love what she's done with it. The shredded skirt and the black shirt. It's so something that I would wear outside and off the ramp as well. On a date.
On a date.
On a date.
How is your association with Lakme as a platform?
So I'm Lakme's digital brand ambassador, which makes it very interesting for me. I love digital social media as a medium in general. I think the reach is unparalleled, and it allows me a certain amount of freedom, which I'm really truly enjoying.
Sir, last question, what does fashion mean to you?
Fashion for me is comfort, being comfortable in your own skin before you put some clothes on it.
That's right, yes.
Thank you.
Retro comeback.
My first
Retro comeback.
retro comeback in terms of fashion. Okay, why retro comeback?
Because it's been in fashion. I mean, all your parallel fans.
Oh, okay. My God, you'll really make me think so much. When was my first retro comeback? I mean, I really don't know. But because, like I said, my palazzo pants and all, that's something I've been wearing since forever and even today. So, like I said, I won't just blindly follow fashion because it's in today.
Shamita, Divya के collections के बारे में बताइए. What do you like?
Well, like I said, इनके जो use of colors है, the handloom, the entire collection is handloom, which I think is lovely. I love raw silk, and even the work, इतना भर के पूरे outfit में work नहीं है. It's easy to wear, it's comfortable, and it's just beautiful. Pink is one of my favorite colors. And she's given me a pink outfit to wear, so I'm so happy. And it's just so pretty. Look at the outfit. I'm very comfortable in it.
लास्टली एक चीज कोई गर्ल्स को कोई फैशन टिप्स देना चाहिए बहुत कंफ्यूज रहते हैं
नहीं, just wear something that you're comfortable in.
Shamita,
Don't be so stressed
आपका
about
style
fashion.
statement कह दीजिए last में. In one word.
Oh, good grief. I think just wear what you're comfortable in with the right attitude. Be confident of who you are. It's as simple as that. And I think that for me is fashionable.
Thank you guys.
No, that's it.
इधर ओ आप भी आ सकते चलो अरे क्या पीछे क्या कर रहे हैं ये
The launch of our special issue up in India, guest edited by Mayank Singh Kaur. The launch itself is slightly unconventional. It's not your normal book launch, so we hope you enjoy it. Mayank and I started talking about contemporary textiles in India and this issue about 2 years ago, when we began to realize that there was very little actually out there in terms of reference material or documentation on contemporary textiles in the country. And we kind of felt that, this part of our history is as important to Indian heritage as antique and historical textiles that have been well documented. And so this conversation began, and slowly we started putting together an issue that's on contemporary textiles and fashion histories in India, starting from 1947, which is kind of the obvious point to start with Mahatma Gandhi and his legacy of Khadi. And I'll leave Mayank to tell you a little bit about what the issue is about.
So much, Monisha. Desi books are going out of fashion in the first 6 weeks of this publication being released. We have sold out the first print run. And we're very lucky that the second print run actually arrived just this morning, about 2 hours before we went into this show. And thank you all for being here. Book is one of the first attempts since 1947 to try and look at a broad history of Indian textiles in India post-independence. So it looks at important designers in the country. It looks at important brands working in the area of textiles. It looks at movements. It looks at new product developments that have taken place in India and an evolution of these from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and onwards. Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Monisha should talk about it. Monisha is actually the person who commissioned me to do this book, so it's really nice that we've been able to share this platform to finally launch the book. Yeah.
I think one of the things we felt at Mark Publications is that historic textiles in India, antique textiles, pashmina shawls, saris, carpets have always been written about, and you have a lot of books on the subject. But when it comes to contemporary textiles in India and more recent Indian fashion history, there's very little information out there. And Marg itself has published many books on textiles, but we've never done contemporary textiles before. And I think that was one of the things that drew us to the subject, and we thought it's about time. You know, a 70-year-old history is not that long, and there are still many people alive who know this history, and so we thought it was the right time for a book like this.
Thank you so much. Anyone has any questions? I wanted to know, how did you transform the book onto the runway?
Well, we did it together, and what we did was we realized that since this was a fashion event, we wanted to focus more on the textile-based fashion stories within the book. So we asked 8 designers on whom text was written and their work was shown on the runway. We asked 8 designer friends, sometimes we just bullied them because we did it on very short notice, to actually try and recreate these looks. And we had discussions between us on who might be the most relevant designer. So for instance, if you look at Sanjay Garg, a lot of his revival effort in Banaras has been inspired by the kind of saris that you saw in Banaras in the 50s and 60s. You look at Bailoom, of course, they're khadi. You look at someone like Rimzim, and the kind of sculptural work that she does is very futuristic. So we kind of brainstormed together on the designers whose work we had actually featured in the publication and tried to extract those kinds of images from the book to tell the story. Yeah.
Can you talk us through the names of these 8?
Of the designers, yes. There's Bailood, which is a Calcutta-based design studio working with khadi and a lot of handloom textiles. There's Sanjay Garg of Raw Mango for the 90s and 50s, for the 1950s and 60s. There's Pero by Anita Arora, who has a very colorful, free-flowing kind of style. So we thought she would be very good for the 70s kind of euphoria and joyful atmosphere in fashion. In the 80s, we had Abraham and Thakur, who looked at two very particular kind of silhouettes. One was, the very typical white sari uniform in hospitals in India, which are very peculiar to India. So they had one interpretation on that. And they did this, this very typical government school uniform of churidar kurta, so the dupatta of that, they referenced that from the 80s. It's very quintessential kind of Indian looks. 90s, we thought it would be very nice to get Satya Paul because they were really the pioneers to introduce this idea of the cocktail sari and to make the sari really, really fashionable for an evening kind of look. We then have Play Clan from the 2000, which is really about when a lot of people get very inspired by Indian street and popular culture. In 2010 onwards, we have Rimzim to try and suggest a kind of futuristic kind of look. And would you like to talk about Jigmeet Couture, who sort of were the final designers?
Yeah, and then we ended with Jigmeet Couture because we wanted to look at people who are working not necessarily in the main cities of India, but in smaller towns and what's happening in those places. So who are the designers who are working there? And Jigmeet Couture comes from Ladakh. And his work is quite, sort of rooted in tradition, but it's also very contemporary. And that was our focus to end with.